Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Today, our topic is going to be the SWaRM Yammer group, and I have a short presentation that I would like to present to you today on how to access the Yammer group and also how to best utilize it. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm your host today. I'm LV Spencer. I'm the logistics lead for the Southwest and Rocky Mountain Division. On your screen, you should see my email address and also my uh, phone number. So feel free to give me a call or send me an email anytime if you have any questions on how you can use Yammer in your collaborations within the SWaRM division. So first of all, we'll get started with the agenda. This is what I'd like to accomplish today is to go over what is Yammer, to answer that question. Then how do you go about accessing it? And what can you do with Yammer? How can you use this tool? And then I'll give you a demonstration and then follow that up with what you should do first, and then open up the lines for some questions and answers at the very end. So we'll go ahead and see what the heck is Yammer. You may have heard of it or you may not have, but Yammer is not a brand new tool. It's been out there. It's an automated tool that's a social network for the Red Cross that we can use. Oftentimes we've heard of social networks such as Twitter and Facebook and other programs, but those are geared more towards being a personal type of social network, whereas Yammer is a program where you can socialize within the Red Cross. It's more of a business social network where you can contact your coworkers and share files, collaborate with them, and also do a mobile platform, which is another way of saying you can download it onto your smartphones. One of the key things about using Yammer is that hopefully it'll be less email. It basically allows you to collaborate with other workers, and where there's less email floating around, and you can share information and files with your coworkers. So it's a great tool for storing information and collaboration on projects. You'll notice that within the Red Cross, there's a lot more emphasis on collaboration across the regions, divisions, and nationally, to collaborate with different groups, getting their input, sharing information with everybody across the Red Cross organization. So Yammer is a great tool for doing that. There's some people would say, well, what's the difference between Yammer and SharePoint and Link? Well, Link is much more towards a online meeting, which we're using Link right now for this meeting. SharePoint is much more geared towards sharing of information, and Yammer's emphasis is more on the collaboration on projects. So let's first talk about how can we access Yammer. On this slide, you'll see a picture on the right of the Southwest and Rocky Mountains Division Yammer site. This is when I'm logged in, this is what I see. And what you see will be a little bit different because it's all geared towards the user and what groups they're a member of. But to access Yammer, you'll have to have an internet browser, Internet Explorer, or Firefox, or one of the other browsers. And you want to start off by going to yammer.com. If you've not signed on to yammer.com before, you'll need to go there and join it, the group. You join it by using your redcross.org email address. This site is restricted to those who have a redcross.org email address. There are other sites that are external that you can create for those without the Red Cross email address. And then after you've joined the site, you want to save this to one of your favorites, so it'll be easily to retrieve it in the future. Now, what can you do with Yammer? This slide will show you some of the things that you can do, and I'll just briefly go over it with you. One of the first things you can do is you can post updates to the file, to the site. When you do that, you can also attach files so people can see the files you've attached. You can add topics or hashtags, so if your update is geared towards a specific topic, you can add those topics. You can read conversations that are public or private or specifically to a specific group. You can reply to messages that are out there. You can share files and notes as well. And then Yammer has groups. And with these groups, you can focus your conversations. With these groups that you can join or create, and you can browse these groups. These groups may be either public groups, which are available to everybody on the site, or you can set them up to private. If there's something that you're working on that's probably not public information yet, you can set up a private group. And then you can also follow groups so that you can be notified when something has changed within a group. Now, the other thing that you can do is follow conversations. So conversations can be either public or private, so you can have one-on-one conversations with people, or it can be open to the public or to the group as well. You can search for people, you can search by groups, you can search by conversations. And I will show you all how you can do all these different tasks within Yammer. You can also invite members to the redcross.org site, or you can also invite them to a specific group. One of the nice features that I enjoy about Yammer is you can subscribe and post to groups by email. So I don't have to check Yammer throughout the day. It's going to come to my email inbox, so I can either receive the notices there, or I can reply to them as well. And the last thing I wanted to point out that you can do with Yammer is you can install applications. You can install applications down to your iPhone, your Android phone, or to any smartphone. So that's the different things that you can do with Yammer. And now let's get into the demonstration so I can show you what some of the different features of Yammer. Now on your screen you should see the redcross.org Yammer site. I've already joined the site, so I'm sorry I can't show you that site right now because I'm already a member, but I went into yammer.com, joined the site, saved it as a site. So we're just going to do a little walk around the site and give you an idea of what all you can do on this site. So up on one of the first places you want to go to is the Home tab, and you'll see across the top menu bar you'll have a home, and then you have an inbox. I have a message to read, and then you can also do searches. You can search for people, groups, and conversations, and then you can invite people as well. And then there's a pull down menu. If you click on the three dots, you'll get a pull down where you can also select other ones as well. So we're going to go back over to the home, and then we're going to go down to the left side here and see some of the different groups that I'm a member of. So if I click on all companies, that's going to show me everything for this for the redcross.org site. And you'll see this is an all company, it's a public group. And so far there's 874 members to the all company. So there's a lot of Red Cross people that have already joined onto Yammer. So we have other groups. If you go on down, this is the Southwestern Rocky Mountain Division group site. There's a SWaRM Logistics group site, and you go on down, you'll see the other ones. This is just showing the groups that I have joined. Now you can also browse groups. You can either go to the groups here and see more groups, or you can create a group, or if you go down here, you can browse a group, or you can create a group. So let's just look at the different groups that are out there. So we're going to see more groups. One of the key things that you want to do in Yammer before you create a new group is you want to see what groups are already out there. So these are some of the common groups that may be of interest to me that are already there. I can also view more groups. And so this is going to show some groups. And if I scroll on down, I'll be able to see some more groups that have already been created. You'll see there's a first aid team, preparedness. The Indiana region has created a group. And if you find a group that you would like to join, you just click on the group, and then underneath it you would click join. And this is a public group. So I'll be able to join this group without any approvals. So that's the group so far, but I want to see maybe there's a group out there that I'm not aware of, so you can search on groups. So let's see if there's one for best practices. And there is one. There's a best practice one for a disaster action team. Say I don't know the correct word or tag that I want to use, maybe I can do on all groups. And this is going to give me a listing of all the groups that are on the redcross.org site. And most of them, you'll see which ones I've joined, which ones I have not joined. They'll give you a little description about that group and what it's doing. Here's the Texas Gulf Coast Region External Relations Group. The Texas Gulf Coast Region has created a group, and it has 13 members. So this will show you the number of groups, the groups and the number of members. So far in the Southwestern Rocky Mountain Division, we have 83 members in that group. So if you have done a search and found out there's just not a group that's meeting my needs, then you would create a new group. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can do an internal group, which is restricted to the redcross.org, or you can do an external group, and that'll make it available to people outside the redcross.org organization. Now you can also add members to the group. You can give it a name, and it'll tell you if that name is available. So you'll get a little pop-up, name is available if you want to create that group. I don't need to create a new group right now. But later on, further down, you'll see a private or a public. So if you create a public, then anyone on this network, the redcross.org network, will be able to see your comments and your conversations. If you make it private, then only the administrator of that group, which is going to be the person that created the group, would have to approve people becoming members of the group. So you can create a private group as well. So you can do internal groups, external groups, give it a group name, add members, make it public or private, and then create the group. So that's a little bit about the groups. I'm going to go back and click Home again to bring me back. And I just want to show you some things that are on this page. You'll see some recent activities over here on the right. Butch has joined the Disaster Health Services. Laura's has joined. Eric Jones has joined. Over on the right is the application directory. And what this application directory does is allow you to see the different applications that you can download to your smartphone. The more popular ones, of course, are the iPhone, and you can see who's already downloaded them. The Android phone, the Yammer Now, that you can download these applications to a smartphone. I'm going to click back on Home so I can get back to the home page for redcross.org. So we have these app directories I just showed you. Then we have suggested people. And Yammer is going to recommend some people for me to follow. And then it also has some suggested groups that I may be interested in following. You'll notice here the company resources. This version of Yammer that we're using is a free one, and it's not connected to the Red Cross network. So there are some limitations on what you can do with this version of Yammer. But I have found it to meet all of my needs so far. So we've gone down the left-hand side to show you the groups. We've gone down the right-hand side to show you some information there. So now I'm going to go to all company. Okay, and with all company, you can do conversations, you can do files, you can do notes. But what I want to mainly show you here is over on the right-hand side, you can subscribe to this group by email, so you'll get the notifications to your email. You can post to this group by your email. And one function I've not used yet is embed this group in your site. So this is the all company. So that's everything that's posted on redcross.org. One of the things you need to keep in mind is the information that you're posting. Is it information that everyone would need to see, or is it just information a specific group would want to know about? So let's go on down to the Southwestern Rocky Mountain group, and I want to show you some of the things here that you can do. You can have conversations. You can do some info. You can add files, and you can also do notes, and then you can search on this group as well. And you'll notice here that I've started a conversation. It basically announced, I put in the update, and it came out on the Southwestern Rocky Mountain Division group site. And I did an announcement for subject matter experts. And with that, I was able to add the applications and the job descriptions as well. So I was able to attach files. And then on down here, I was able to tag them. So if somebody's doing a search, maybe on job descriptions, this will pop up. And tags are very similar to hashtags. So if you've used hashtags before, you'll want to use these subject matter experts and so on. And you'll notice down here that Eric Klein has done some replies to it. And there's also some older replies. If I click on that, Barb Stevens done some replies. There's some more replies, and so on. So you can see the conversation of that as long as you're a member of the Southwestern Rocky Mountain group. That's not shown to everyone. Also on the right-hand side, what I want to point out is some information about reading a day one guide, looking at the starter deck, and then there's some pinned sites. These are just links. This is a link back to the SWaRM SharePoint site. This is to the DCWG site and to also some training videos. So that's what's in the Southwestern Rocky Mountain group. If I can go on down to the SWaRM logistic. One of the things I wanted to show you here is how you can create a poll. When I was doing this, I wanted to create a poll and find out how many logistics procurement workers should have a request account. And I must admit this is a little biased probably, but 11 people took the poll and 11 people said yes, they should. And then I had some replies as well. So we'll go on down here, and then we also had, we're working on a regional logistics toolkit. So some people can reply to this as well. One of the things I want to show you down here is on these replies, you can like it, which you're probably, if you're familiar with Facebook, you'll see that, and there's a lot of similarities between Facebook and Yammer. I can reply to the message, or I can share the message. On the shared message, what I can do is share it to another group. So if I wanted to share it maybe with the Texas Gulf Coast region, I can share this conversation with them. Or maybe I want to share it on a private message. So if I wanted to send this maybe to Eric, and I can then attach it to it and say, Eric, what do you think? And hopefully Eric's going to respond to that, and he's going to tell me what he thinks about this idea. So that's where I'm starting the collaboration with other people that are already on Yammer. The other thing I wanted to show you down here, besides the share, let's move on over to the more, and we'll click on that. And if you find out, well, I no longer want to follow this conversation, I can stop following it. I can view the whole conversation, or I can add topics. And I really encourage you to add topics. This is where you do those hashtags. So if you want to do SWaRM, you would just start typing it, and then it's going to pop up. And you can add new hashtags. So if you don't see if it doesn't pop up on an existing hashtag or topic, then you can add a new one as well. I don't want to do that, so in this case I'm done, and I can also edit the topics as well. So those are some of the things. You can like it, reply, share, or more as well. And I'm getting some, there's some pinging here, and that's because I'm getting some replies to some of the information I'm getting, and I'll show you that in an email here shortly. If I go up here to my inbox, you'll see where I sent something to Eric, and then Eric had replied back, "Sounds good to me." So that's when I just a while ago sent him a request for information, and he replied back, "Sounds good to me." Let me go back to the very SWaRM logistics site. And so that's pretty much what I wanted to share there. Let's go to the day one. Day one is basically a Yammer help. You'll want to take a look at there. And there's some tips and tricks that have been added to the Yammer help, and how you can actually do some of the things within Yammer, creating groups and things like that, attach some files and programs, and how to ready to try Yammer, new user checklist, and so on. So I've also created a group called the SWaRM DCWG Deploy Materials Workers and Technology. And I basically have put out there that our group is working on a regional logistics toolkit and deploying those within division. And I've asked people to provide me some information or to collaborate with other people on this. So far, no one has replied, but in this group are 37 members, so 36 people have seen this, and so I have reached out to asking for some help and support. You'll see some other ones here where people have, the Texas Gulf Coast region has created a group, volunteer development, GIS has posted a group as well. I know what I wanted to do now. I wanted to show you how to update your profile. You'll notice my picture up here, and I can view my profile, and you can also view other people's profiles. To change your profile and to add a picture, you're just going to click on your name, and then you're going to edit your profile. And here's where you can put in your name, your first name. You can add a picture, and then you can add some information about yourself. And basically what I did was take information that is on my Exchange profile, and then I just copied it over here, so I did not have to retype everything. You can also add your Twitter information, Skype information, who your employer is, things of that nature. And in this other website, one of the things I did there is I linked it back to my user profile on the exchange. So if people wanted to see what my exchange profile is, they can just click on the other website and they'll see that as well. So that's about my profile. I'm going to go back home. Let's see if there's anything else I can show you. If you go over to the three little dots here and get some more, you can see groups. And I pretty well have walked you through that. That's just another way to get to it. You can see the different people that are already connected onto Yammer, and you can do a search by their last name, and then you can invite people. There's files. This will show you the different files that I've already uploaded to the site. So you'll see earlier I mentioned about the applications for the subject matter experts. That's where I've uploaded the files, the last date that it was uploaded. Here's where I can upload the files. I can create a note, and I probably need to go back and show you those as well. Here's settings, and that just is basically my profile. So let me go back to home, and I want to go to the Southwestern Rocky Mountain site, and you'll see where I've loaded files up. And these are the files that I've loaded. Some of these are just pictures, so those are not really significant. Then there's also notes, where you can create a note for people to see. And this note is the day one guide for SWaRM. So you want to look at notes, and you also want to look at files. I'm going to go back to all companies, and one of the things I want to show you, I want to click on home. And you'll see that different people have joined the group or joined the redcross.org network. And I'm going to use Eric here as a sample, as an example. Say I don't want to see this every time that Eric, I've read it one time. So how do I mark something as read? Right now it sort of indicates that it's unread. If I hover over to the right, you'll see that a X pops up, and if I click on that X, I'm going to get a hide conversation. And what hide conversation does is it hides the conversation from me and me only. It's still there for other people to view it, but it hides it from me. So it's basically another way of saying it's been read. And so if I hide that, it's going to go away. And the message will no longer appear unless someone mentions or replies to your undo. So if I go out up here and I refresh this, you'll see that this is going to go away. So I just refresh my screen, and it's loading back, and I still have Leonard's and I still have Laura's, but the one from America is hidden and is no longer available to me. Now that Leonard has joined the team, I can send him a message, and it shows that I can either unfollow Leonard, but I really want to follow Leonard, so I want to follow him, and I'm going to just practice here and send message to Leonard. So I have a pop-up in the bottom right, and I'm just going to say, hello, Leonard. Okay, and you'll see I just, down here on the bottom right is an IM where I can have a conversation going on with Leonard. And since he's on this presentation, I'm not sure if he'll be able to respond back or not. We'll see. Well, he does. Howdy, glad I'm paying attention. Thank you for paying attention, Leonard. So he's paying in. So one of the things you can do is find out who's online right now. So we can, right now I see that Eric's online, and I can send Eric an IM. And we'll get a conversation going here with Eric. Hi, Eric. How are you today? And let's see if Eric is paying attention, or might have to go back to Leonard. Well, maybe Leonard or Eric can't get to his screen. So we got Leonard here, and so I got Eric responds. So I got a couple of IMs here. Hi, Eric. And if you notice up here with Eric, I can invite another person into the conversation. So I'm going to invite Leonard. Leonard, let's see if you can do this. And this is all, I didn't plan on this, so this is sort of ad hoc here what we're doing. Okay, I see that Leonard is typing right now. Let's see what Leonard has. So I have a three-way conversation going right now. I have Leonard, I have Eric, and Eric is responding to Leonard, so I have a three-way collaboration going on. And Leonard is typing. And Leonard's got a good copy, and Eric's got a good copy. So that's how we can do it, IMs and getting a three-way conversation going. One of the disadvantages here is I cannot do video. So if I wanted a video, then I would use Link. But I can see, over here on the right is who's online now. And I can see that Jim Stevens is online. And this little phone tells me he's online via a smartphone. Mary Lou's on the line via smartphone. Eric's online via a web. And as I hover over those people, you're going to get a little pop-up about each one of those people, what groups they're a member of, and their emails. And if you want to stop following them, you can do that as well. So I'm going to shut those down, minimize this, and get just back up to the top. And I think I pretty much have covered everything I wanted to cover. I have just a couple more slides before we finish. What should you do now that you've been exposed to Yammer and to the different groups? What should you do next? I would recommend that you join the redcross.org site by going to yammer.com, then update your profile, post a picture there and update your profile, and you can link your profile back to the exchange. Then there's a group called Yammer Day One, Yammer Help Group. Join that group. That's basically tells you a little bit more of how to do things and gets into more information. And then follow maybe 5 groups and 5 individuals. That's just a recommendation. And then update your notifications. One of the things I forgot to mention on the notifications is you can designate your notifications. Hey, I don't want any notifications from this group. I'm only going to see it when I want to go in. The second option you have is you can get a daily notification. And then the third option, you can request a weekly notification. Just depends on the group, how often you want to be notified of what's going on with the group. Then you want to check out the applications directory. And then if you have a smartphone, an iPhone, an Android phone, or some others, look at the application directory and connect them to your system as well. And then the final thing is to invite others to join the network. Again, they do have to have a Red Cross email address, so this is not geared towards the brand new volunteers. It's geared more towards those volunteers and staff who are in leadership positions and need to collaborate and discuss issues and topics with other people as well. One last thing I'd like to mention is we've been on the line for at least 45 minutes, is be sure to record your volunteer hours and volunteer connection. So this was a training opportunity for volunteers, and please take the time to uh, record your volunteer hours. That's the final slide. Thank you for taking the time to join this session. Thank you all for your time, and I hope to see you out there on the redcross.org network. Thank you.